Hello everyone, and welcome to a quick little update video regarding the current team roster for the Wind and Drag polls. So I've decided to switch out Magmortar this season. So the reason I've done this is because I felt like Magmortar was pretty much the most underperforming one on the team. It was just not giving me enough into too many matchups. I found there were too many games where I just looked at my opponent's team and decided that Magmortar just really wasn't helping me that much. Its mid-lane speed makes it a little awkward to use at times, and while it has got a lot of offense, the offensive coverage it gets overall is kind of covered by the rest of the team for the most part. Stab Fire is very nice to have, of course, but the coverage options of Thunderbolt and Psychic that it gets, we've got Raikou and Latias and Mr. Mime that cover all of that with Stab, and it just give me better options overall. So yeah, that's offensively it wasn't doing too much for us. Of course we do lose that valuable Stab Fire, but at least we do have fire coverage in Wheezing still if we absolutely need it. So it's not like it's leaving us with no fire coverage at all, and the defenses leave a lot to be desired. Raikou, Latias and Mr. Mime all in some form have better natural defenses and typing overall, so overall, I just felt that Magmortar wasn't providing us enough on the team. I brought it to week 1 and 5, I believe. Week 5 it was benched entirely, and I brought it to one game of week 1 where I think it just went down without getting any KOs. So, overall, I feel like Magmortar was the one to switch out. And now, I think I've been saying this entire season that I keep struggling against ground types, fighting types, and fire types. They're the main things that have been scaring me, which is why we'll welcome Mantine to the team. So, of course, by training out Magmortar, I had to focus on the C tier mons. If we're doing any trades within the season, we're meant to keep it within the respective tiers. And I knew I wanted a water type. That was the most important thing that our team has been lacking overall. So Mantine was the one that I liked the most, just because it's got such a good defensive typing and great stats to back it up overall. It's not a crazy offensive mon, but that we can invest in that special attack to make it hit a lot, do decent damage overall. It's got Scald and Air Slash as its main main stab options, and honestly, like, the fire types I've been facing this season have been terrifying me. We may have been performing well, but Mantine kind of eases up certain matchups just a little bit better for me, I feel. It's going to make me feel a little bit more comfortable going into them with Mantine as an option at the very least, So Magmortar may have been a fire resistance, but it can't do too much back to them, or Mantine can threaten with, a Scald or Hydro Pump or whatever coverage option I'm trying to go for. So yeah, it's got some other interesting options like Wide Guard, Tailwind, Haze. Nothing that our current team doesn't already have, but having another mon with access to those moves is never a bad thing by any means. So, of course, it is Quad Weak to Electric. I've always found Quad Weak mons in a Draft League quite scary overall to be bringing, because it can easily go down to a surprise coverage move. But if anything, I've got to look at this as an advantage in a way though, because we don't have any other electric weaknesses across the team, which is why adding it isn't the worst. And it also may force my opponent to bring certain coverage, for Mantine. And if I just don't bring Mantine at all, that could be a wasted move slot for my opponent. So overall, I'm very much looking forward to using Mantine for the rest of the season. This trade will be taking place for and will be in use for week 7 onwards. So once the weeks, now that our first 6 weeks of matches are done, we'll be able to use it for week 7 and 8 and the playoffs, which we are definitely guaranteed for at this point. So yeah, very excited overall. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to say about Mantine and Magmortar. So yeah, these are our 10 for the rest of the season. I don't plan to make, I think, it's way past the time of making any other trades and such, but yeah, I'm very happy with how the team's looking right now, and I'm hopefully going to get to use Mantine at least at one point. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in to this little update, and I hope to see you in some of the future upcoming matches. Take care, everyone.